folks, I found this guitar through a bit of optimism on my part. I saw this listing on Amazon. It had one guitar left, last one kind of deal, and it was for a Indio Helix 6 at a really discounted rate, and that was the text and the description. But when I looked at the photos, it was this Boardwalk semi-hollow. So I checked a few of the comments on the listing, buyer comments, and someone said, yeah, I got a Boardwalk, which is a lot more expensive guitar. So I was stoked, quote. So I took a chance and bought the last one, and sure enough, it is the more expensive Boardwalk semi-hollow, sort of another 3.5 deal. And I haven't had a Monoprice Indio guitar for a while, so yeah, it's good to show it on the channel. Now I've just unpacked this one and noodling around on it. Haven't done any setup yet. Everything's good on it. There's some sharp fret ends as you get close to the neck up here, which is pretty typical for a lot of these guitars. I talk about it a lot. Other than that, everything is quite tickety-boo. The action is really quite nice. I kind of like the all black hardware on this. It's sort of that charcoal finish. I don't know if you're seeing the translucent with a little bit of flame in there. You probably can't see the flame in the light I've got here. Rosewood board, block inlays, white binding throughout. Bog standard tuners, but they seem to work okay. Yeah, and I have to say that the last couple of Monoprice Indio guitars I got were a bit of a struggle, but they were both those really cheap tele models. When you get up into these Helix models, or this Series 6 models, their guitars, more in the 200-300 range, it seems like they are a bit better made, more attention to detail. Same issues with setup. I've got some sharp fret ends here. But other than that, it's not bad. Hardware is probably fairly cheap. Strings are probably no brand. Pickups are probably cheap as well. So these are the kind of guitars that people get in mod. But I have to say, out the box, this Indio Boardwalk, is a lot better than the Zue 335L I had last week, which had a lot of issues. Even though I had the coil taps and everything, it didn't play as nicely as this. This is quite nice. I don't think it's a true 335. Dimensions feel a bit different. Those of you who are Gibson freaks will probably give me a different model number that this is copying. It's of that ilk though. Pretty long F-holes on this guitar, all bound. It's got a solid maple center block. In fact, all of the construction of the body is maple. And it's got a solid center block on it. Two-tone controls for each pickup, and a standard three-way switch, which feels decent. This sort of plasticky looking black hardware, I could see a lot of people ditching that and putting in better stuff, but if you're buying it to practice on or as a first guitar, I think it's just fine. This is all the neck pickup. Let's do the both. So the bridge pickup is pretty trebly. But again, I'm on a small amp, so just my small Black Star amp. And people keep complaining, why don't you get a better amp? Well, I can hear the quality of guitars on this amp. I was listening to somebody demo a guitar the other day, and they were playing it through at least $700-800 worth of signal processing equipment. Like a well-known YouTuber, I'm thinking, Your gear sounds great, mate, but I'm not hearing the guitar at all. But anyway, I thought I'd show this. Another thing about Monoprice guitars that I really like, so you don't hear my usual complaint, is they do come with a nice padded gig bag and probably a couple of little accessories in there, which is good. So you get this padded gig bag and a pretty nice flamey finish, translucent black. I think they call it the charcoal finish for this particular one. They make a few different colors of this, and it's pretty decent. Once I file those fret ends down, there's not much to do on this. The action's actually quite nice. I think it's about 3 or 4 millimeters on the top E from the 12th fret. I mean, you might get it down a shade more, but for a semi-hollow, I think it's set up pretty nicely. So yeah, good mod projects, and we haven't heard from Monoprice offerings in a while. Indio is still around. They're constantly putting out new stuff. They've kind of got lost in the mix lately because of all these new brands that have appeared on the horizon over the last couple of years. But I still think they're certainly worth talking about and checking out. And a lot of people swear by these Indio models. I mean, some of their Strat and Tele copies you can get as little as $80, $90 on Amazon with free shipping. And if you're gonna, put your own pickups in and your own parts on, it seems like a reasonable price. That's cheaper than any kit guitar, isn't it? I do think that these Boardwalk, Helix, and Indio 6 series are slightly nicer. This one's got actually a nice join here, carved join here, so it's really easy to get up into the upper echelons of the neck. Nice block inlays. Yeah, very handsome looking guitar. All black, if you like that. I do. So there you go. Yeah, this is an Indio Boardwalk semi-hollow guitar, and it's actually set up better than the last 2 or 3 335 copies I've had. I'm not gonna have to do much to this, so bear that in mind if you're looking. I had somebody ask me the other day, which one would you pick? And I said, well, so far I'd probably say the Harley Benton, the IYV, even though it has the Florentine cutaway on the top horn, so it's more like a 339 copy. Those two are probably the best sub 300 semi-hollows I've run into. The Fireflies are okay. I've had 1 or 2 that were a little bit problematic, like the Zouwei one I just had. There are lots of brands I haven't tried yet, and I hope to try the Muzu. I haven't tried the Ert or Latitude 335 types, or the Wolf. A lot of different ones I haven't got to yet, but of the cheaper echelon that I've tried so far, this one's actually pretty good. Doesn't need much work, and I think somebody could mod this out quite nicely. A little on the heavy side, but yeah, as they say, nice bones. All right, folks, see you on the next one.